Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all right,
video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
Love it.
Best you got. Not gonna get any different. So if you dressed up, it would make us feel bad.
Okay, there you go.
Oh my gosh, I'm really excited. I haven't seen you in it feels like 1,000 years.
I know.
Really not that long at all.
So how long has it been really?
Oh, 3 years?
Oh, it's been a while then.
No,
Or 2 years.
I saw you just before the pandemic. No,
I'm
when did we have
oh,
lunch?
okay.
So Kenny,
Yeah.
Sarah, Winnie, and I, we used to laugh about this. We worked on a bunch of brands that really didn't do that well. Not because of us. I want to say that right away.
Well, I didn't assume
because
that.
of
I
us.
just assumed it was someone else.
But we used to liken ourselves like the three musicians on the Titanic. So you remember when like chaos is happening and people are running for lifeboats and the
Just
three
keep
of them
playing.
kind of just
keep playing.
Yeah.
Just keep playing. Don't stop now, baby. The ship's going down. Don't worry about it. Nothing's gonna help us. Keep
when
playing.
we would come out of
That's funny.
kind of those departmental meetings where you got to talk volume and things like that. And it would get a little difficult, right? Because we were like, so there's less volume than there was last one. And then and instead of saying that, we were almost shorthanded by, it's a podcast, nobody can see me do it, but I'm doing this thing with my hands to show like we're playing a violin, right? So we come out of like, how was it? You'd start playing the violin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's one of the
The amount of sympathy you have for your fellow colleagues.
Oh my gosh.
Good times, good times.
These poor people are struggling and dying a painful death, and all you do is play the violin.
It's true. We try anyway. But on a very, very much brighter note. So for the audience, we have Sarah Brazier on. Do you still go by Sarah Brazier?
Actually, no, I'm going full time now on my married name, so Rochacewich.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, try and spell that one.
I am not used to that. I'm probably going to wind up calling you Sarah Brazier for a long time.
Oh, that's okay.
But
I'm just going to say Sarah.
And Sarah, I've known Sarah a long time now. And we've been through a bunch of things together that I think means we can never not be friends, I think. So
That works.
But what's really cool is, and I'll let her introduce herself, is Sarah. Sarah comes from the industry, right? Packaged goods and the whole bit. She's got some serious brand chops behind her, some serious key account behind her. She's got some serious skills, and then she went and put those serious skills to use, and she's running her own chocolate business. And this was a serious time zone thing. I had to get a time zone calculator out because Sarah's in Newfoundland, Kenny's in Vancouver, and I'm here in Toronto. So figuring this one out.
Okay, so what time is it in Newfoundland?
It's 6:30.
6:30. What time are we here?
I'm 5 and
Right.
You are 2:00.
You know why? Because I remember in the hockey games, right? It was always, hockey night counts as 5, except Newfoundland, 5:30 in Newfoundland.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. I'm really excited, actually. I'm really excited you're here because this is super fun. Yeah, welcome. And then I'll let you, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm trying to think what's important to say.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, I guess like Phil said, I come from a corporate background and worked in marketing and sales for quite a few years. Loved it, but then had the chance to start our own company and thought it would be a great challenge. And we thought we'd make it even more interesting. So we do that in Newfoundland instead of staying in Ontario where we're from. And here we are 10 years later. So we've got our own chocolate business. And in 2016, we decided to get into ice cream. So we're, self-taught, learned from scratch. And now we've got well, in a normal year, like non-COVID year, we will have 4 retail locations and a production
Wow.
facility, and yeah.
Oh wow.
So we're working hard to kind of grow it and make something of it.
Are you servicing then all Newfoundland? Or are you just in St. John's,
Yeah.
or where are
No.
you?
So that was the other funny thing. We chose to start our business in a very small town. It's called Trinity. It's one of the most picturesque places you will ever see. When you come up and you come over the crest of the hill and you see Trinity, it's like a storybook. Like it's
And
just
that's where you
beautiful.
live.
That's where we live. Yeah.
And you were from Toronto originally.
Yeah, north of Toronto, Markham.
So you went from Markham corporate to the Rock.
That's right.
Not in the only town, but another town.
Yeah.
That's smaller and over the hill.
Yeah.
Just check it. I just want to make sure I understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So about the size of your neighborhood or your street from Markham.
Exactly.
My neighborhood.
Yeah, it's if you want to look at a good business case, I don't know. We maybe don't look at these numbers, but
so just before you get too, because I'm just curious, I want to get more into business in a second, but
yeah,
why that move? Like what brought a Markham to like literally a town of 50 people? And then you can tell me why you would even start a business in a town of 50 people. But
I know.
Let's get to the 50 first.
Yeah, well, I guess we thought if we were going to take the chance and start our own business, we might as well do it somewhere where we wanted to live. And we had traveled to Newfoundland a couple times and just like really loved it. And there was a couple towns that we thought, like, to give you perspective, Trinity is, I guess the only reference I have is Ontario, but Trinity is like the Muskoka for Newfoundland, right? It's really picturesque. It's right on the water. It's a big time summer town. So when you're here, like it feels amazing, right? It's beautiful.
Awesome.
People are awesome. Right on the ocean. So yeah, so we just decided, you know what, if we're gonna work this hard and try our own business, we might as well do it somewhere totally different, have an adventure, and see if we can make it work.
Interesting. No, Newfoundlanders are nice people. I mean, they're very homey, very caring. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
So you moved there when again?
2012 was our first summer.
2012. And you didn't you started the business prior to the move or post, right?
No, that was all wrapped up into one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
like to put it in context, right? Like, so she's awfully humble about her corporate skills, right? But like she senior brand manager, ran women's health.
I just had the assumption that she was going to be some smarty pants, and this was going to be.
No, seriously, right? Like
trying to figure out
smarty pants, right? She did. Did you run Tylenol? I think it was, or
Tylenol. Well, another Motrin. We worked on Motrin.
Okay.
Yeah, Motrin. And then she went over to do key accounts. She did Catman. So like she's kind of done the entire.
A lot of what,
gambit,
a lot of J&J, obviously, but pretty big
Pfizer and
categories,
J&J,
right? Big OTC categories.
Yeah.
I mean those are dominant in the
multi-million-dollar category leading categories. She can hang with the best of them. Got some serious marketing skills. You can't tell. Thanks. Sarah's blushing a little bit.
I know, you can see it already. You can see it. That's why you need video, video that we share.
Yeah. This is what old friends can do for old friends, though, right? Because I miss.
Well, she's gonna undersell herself anyway. You kind of knew that was gonna happen, right? So it's all good.
Tires a little bit. She's way smarter than she lets on to be. She's got that Newfoundlander, like I did some things,
which is nice though. But that's awesome. So okay, so you're killing it in J&J, like you were doing really well in J&J.
Yeah.
Like you were, right? Obviously, you were doing well. Like you were obviously like they're moving you around, they're letting you try different things. So you're doing well. So again, I'm still trying to understand. I mean, unless I came from because it's mine more typical. I came from Trail. Trail is only 7,500, 8,000 people. You moved to Vancouver. Why? You moved to Vancouver because there's, at that time, 1 million, whatever people, 1.5 million, and, UBC's here. So you don't have a lot of choice. UBC wasn't going to move for me, so I had to move for them. Right. But I moved from 7,500 to 1 million plus. I didn't go from, 8 million to 50.
Yeah.
Not 8 million to 1 million, 8 million to a couple 100,000 to 50. That's a different, just in case the two of you are a little blown away. That's a little different. Because I seem to be the only one surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm thrilled by it because I honestly
I love it.
Like I peppered her with all the same, like, are you sure? Like, do are you guys okay with this? Like, is
So
something
why, sir?
wrong?
Like, I'm serious. I'm curious.
When she
I'm
first
curious to
made
know
it,
the
it was-
why. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a big move. I mean, that's huge.
I guess, yeah. I mean, like I said, like I say, my husband Adam and I,
Yeah.
We really just wanted to try something different. And, you know, to do it in Ontario would have been a big challenge too, but a totally different kind of challenge.
Right.
And we originally thought that, like I said, like we sort of worked backwards a bit. It was like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do it somewhere where we want to live. So you start thinking about all the cool things that you can do in a place like Newfoundland that you don't have access to in Ontario. And so you end up in a really remote,
Right.
place like Trinity.
But you're talking about doing a chocolate company at that time. You had like you were in your mind, you were going to do a chocolate company, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like my family has a business in chocolate, so it wasn't like we were starting from scratch. Like we had that
Right.
background. And you know, if you from a business perspective, Newfoundland back then, anyways, it was kind of catching up to the rest of Canada in certain trends, like tourism, basically, right?
Right.
They really only started to push it well in the last 10 years.
Right.
So we sort of saw this opportunity where you could be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, essentially, in Newfoundland, versus you're up against so much more competition
Right.
in Ontario, you know, British Columbia, etc. But yeah, no, it was like like I still remember when we made the decision to come out here, and I thought, have I lost my mind? Because I don't know, you sort of think about, you know, you're not only taking the financial risk to start something, but you're also doing it in a place where, you know, you've never lived. You're taking a big risk. But
well, you're going from
luckily,
a population where if you want to do chocolate bars, the GTA is not bad because you got a population base.
yeah.
I mean, you're going to a small island. It's a large island, but there's not a lot of people.
No, it's 500,000 people.
You know, so seriously, you start looking at it, but it's not 500 people, 500,000 in, you know, Mississauga or, you know, downtown Toronto. Like you're spread out over a large rock with a lot of small towns.
Yeah.
And you're probably I'm assuming it's not a Nestle or Kit Kat.
No.
So it's probably a little higher end, right? So now you're,
right.
You know, you're dealing with people in 50-person towns. I mean, I know enough in BC. People that live in 50-person, 100-person towns aren't necessarily running down the block saying, you know what, I need a $10 chocolate bar today.
Right.
Like, damn it, that's what I need. Because because when I was out yesterday to the only store within 75 miles, that's what they had. They had a 4-foot set of all high-end chocolates. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
What world is that?
For sure. Well, when we opened up, like people, like the people from the area, you know, they couldn't believe that a chocolate shop was opening in Trinity. Like this was just kind of the wacko, right? Like, but then, you know, it took a while, but you know, now, yeah, I would say we've made some good traction with the locals, but you know, numbers wise, by far in a normal year, it's tourism.
Yeah.
Like those 50 people can only eat so much chocolate in a year.
Right.
So as much as they're wonderful to us, and everybody does support us, but the numbers come from the tourism.
From the outsiders, or you got to go into the main cities. So when you started in Trinity, I'm assuming, did you open up your own storefront or did you, because I mean, online wouldn't have been that big yet, would it felt like that's still 9 years ago. I mean, online was there obviously, but it's not like, it's not even 2 months pre-COVID, like never mind post-COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, that wouldn't even been a massive play, right? It's not like you're doing.
No. And not out of Trinity, for example, right? Like you
no.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like, yeah.
No, we started with I'd say a little shop, but it's really cute. You know, it's in a really old historical building, used to be one of the general stores. It's right on the wharf.
That's awesome.
So there's lots of charm, like original flooring, original counters and shelves, and it's full of history.
Yeah. I bet. Well, everything there's cute, right?
Yeah. No, I'm standing in front of it in Google.
Okay, well, share it. Nobody else has to see. It doesn't matter. At least I get to see. Otherwise, we're both on our webpage, like browsing, and then we forget that we have a guest on. So one person with the ADD is more than enough. Oh my God, that's adorable.
That's it right there. So
yeah, and it looks even better now. Like
super cute.
Yeah, so
super cute.
That view.
There's the water.
Oh, come on, isn't that
and
wonderful?
See where I live. See those houses on the other side of the water.
Yeah,
like
that's where I live. No, on go to your left.
Oh, also on the other side.
On the other side, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that awesome though?
So it'd be a 5-minute boat ride or a 10-minute car ride.
Also, an added convenience of a boat ride during the day too. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Just throw one more complication into the business model. How do you get to work? I have to boat in the morning.
No, I wish.
It's not a gale force winds.
Yeah.
There's a storm coming. Jeez. Oh, Sarah, you make me laugh. What a decision.
She's the best. I'm telling you.
I love it.
So
I just think this is.
I
mean, it's because too many people can't see it. I mean, it's so quaint, but it's such a different way to start a business.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy, right?
God bless you. That's fantastic.
No, it's amazing.
I love it.
But it's funny too, right? Because I remember like your family's in the business of chocolate, but it was like I think Sarah and I talked about it a lot, right? Because your parents never really wanted you to go into chocolate, right? Like I think your dad was kind of like, no, not family business, go do something else. And you're like,
why though?
I actually want in on the family business. And he was like, no, go away, right? Like, do I have that wrong? It was something like that, right?
Yeah, like when I first got out of university, I was all set to see if that was a possibility, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to help your family business?
Yeah.
But no, my parents said, you know what, like, now is not the time. Go get your experience, like go work for the big guys, the medium guys, wherever you want to be, but go get some experience and then we'll talk. So I think actually, looking back, that was some pretty solid advice because it just gave me such a great foundation.
For sure, the whole perspective on business and different sizes of business and how to think things through and how to strategize, etc., as opposed to just doing.
Yeah,
and what kind of OTC drugs to slide into the chocolate? So
compounding's big, baby.
Yeah,
it's big business. Big business.
This chocolate is pain relieving. It relieves back pain, and
you could have a sleep one. You could go crazy on this one.
Sarah's like, no.
So let us go back. So you start in this cute, super cute location.
Yeah.
You're on the main drag, but just so people have perspective, that main drag probably can't do more than 10 cars a day. So like it's a main drag, but relative to a side street in Phil's neighborhood, which is probably smoking busy relative to that. I mean, you're in a good location.
Like you want to, I guess for a listener, you want to paint the picture of literally like your cottage off a local lake. The pier is about that big, right? Like it maybe holds 3-4 boats, kind of like smaller size boats. And then it's really a 2-lane, like one lane, roughly a 2-lane way.
It looks like probably 1.5.
Yeah.
Like you'd probably have to ride the grass a little bit if you had to. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember Trinity, it's a designated historical town. So it's more of a walking town.
Yeah,
so
it's wonderful.
Like where we are,
wonderful.
You can park there, but the idea is to get out, walk around, and explore it, and
I mean, super, super quaint. It's very, very cool. But so you started a town of 50 people. The tourism season, I'm assuming in Newfoundland, is not necessarily the longest. It's going to go out on a limb on that one. I know Newfoundland's balmy most of the time, but I've heard that it does get cold periodically.
Yeah.
So how long is your season? I know, Phil, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this one. So how long is this season that you have to do?
So we open May long weekend, let's say. Yeah. And we're open for 3 weeks. No, just kidding. No, we open in May and we go to Thanksgiving. Okay. But that's awesome. Like it's a short season, and like if you could do a year-round business, based on what we do over the summer, you could have a good little business. You
do well.
Yeah, but we don't have that. So so we had to look at other ways to grow our business, and that's actually over the last 10 years we've been working really hard to do that so that it does support us all year. So we do things in the off season, like we'll go to trade shows and craft shows for Christmas.
We're doing Ottawa for a while, right? Like the Rideau.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we did when we were coming back to Ontario for the winters, we started like a concession stand or trailer on the Rideau Canal for winter.
Isn't that cool?
So it was like, the idea was to offset the seasonality we have in the summer with something in the winter. And in theory, that would have been a great idea. But it was so unpredictable. Like, some years the canal would be open, some years it'd be closed. We were also commuting from Toronto.
That's a hike.
It was just nuts.
That's nuts. That's nonsensical.
Yeah, but
Right.
oh my gosh, I think I must have blocked that out because
for a reason.
Yeah.
So you were moving back to Ontario for the winter. Are you still doing that? Or
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the year. We're back and forth.
Okay.
We used to, between Adam and I, one of us would keep some contract work to help pay the bills over the winter.
Well, I was going to ask you that. So, like, how do you bridge? Because there's people that are going to be listening to that and saying, "Oh, this sounds great." This is definitively, to what I'm hearing you, is this is not a 12-month business.
Not right now. No.
If the summer's great, shitty COVID year doesn't help.
Yeah.
But if the summer's really good, like, you're going to make your hay, you're going to do well, and you can carry funds for the year. But you're going to have to supplement at this point. You are doing some other work to try to not make ends meet, but make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But the other thing that we've added, which, like, every year we're getting closer and closer to making it like a real sustainable 12-month business. So now we do wholesale, right? So we wholesale our chocolates, we wholesale our ice cream. We're in some of the bigger grocery stores and Newfoundland. We're in a whole bunch of gift stores.
You're back in planograms and pogs and pitching buyers.
Yeah, it's
Co-op.
You should have seen the first. So we're in one of the bigger local grocery stores in Newfoundland. It's called Coleman's, and
I just know those guys.
Oh, do you? Okay, so when I walked into one of their flagship stores and I saw our ice cream in the freezer, and we had like eye level placement, like we were above Haagen-Dazs, like we were
awesome
in the bullseye zone, and we had 12 face, like it was unreal. And I remember standing in the aisle by myself trying to be like, oh, is that like someone look at this with me, look how awesome this looks. But but nobody was there.
This mental case from Ontario standing in front of the ice cream set in Newfoundland. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. They support local business is huge. They're wonderful to work with. And anyways, it was pretty exciting when I saw that. I was like, wow, we're above Haagen-Dazs. This is awesome.
But before you got there, sorry, Phil, before you got there, you were in the small town, storefront only, trade shows here and there.
Yeah.
Then
picking up contract work.
Then you run down to I got how far in St. John's is from Trinity? How
3 hours.
Okay, so you're not running down to St. John's. So, like, is there a town close that gets into triple digit, like, that you can expand into? See, I know I'm being a smart ass, Phil, but that's okay.
No, St. John's would be your next big bet.
So 3 hours away. Okay.
3 hours away. Yeah. So it's a tough business model.
I'm trying to make the list. I'm trying to find the easy path in this one, and you're just really not helping out.
No.
Yeah, you're not making it easy.
You find out. So our plans this year. So every year we try and do something new to continue to grow and expand. And on the retail side this year, we'd hoped to do it last year, but our plans got put on hold because of COVID. But this year, hopefully we're back on track, and we're opening a store in a town on the west side of Newfoundland called Rocky Harbor. And if you want another beautiful place, I mean, it's right in Gros Morne, which is a national park. It's drop dead gorgeous. And that's a 7-hour drive away. So
another close town. Good.
Yeah, another close town. Good. So
DSD,
Yeah.
So I don't need a lot of maps, but like I need a lot of
Buddy, I mean, most of the island is in one town.
Yeah.
One city. Don't call it a town. It's a city.
No, but this is
one city.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Like I said, honestly, nothing you're doing is you're not making life easy for yourself. I don't know if you guys know that or figured it out by now, but you're making it a little complicated.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like we knew from the start, like you're not going to become a millionaire, doing this, right? Like you're doing it for all the other reasons.
Sorry, I just needed because
I
don't have any context. So
plus you're on the North Island. You're
so Trinity's over here and Rocky's on the other side.
There you go.
So one of the things I want to say is watching you do this, like
this is wow.
After I got through all of the, oh my God, are you sure? Like what like, is everything okay? Like, are you running away from the mob? Like what's happening here?
Well, I'm starting to go down that path too. There's something else going on here that she's not sharing.
But one of the things I think just watching Sarah and Adam go through it is they had like this incredible focus, right? Because the first couple of years they had a place in Toronto, they would go back and forth.
Yeah.
One would be here, one would be there, right? So like
That's
none
tough.
of it's easy, right? Like
That's
like
tough.
it's not like it's not like Halifax. You can get on a plane and be there in a couple of hours. Like I remember after the first couple of years, Sarah would say things like, well, I gotta leave by this day because if I miss that ferry, I'm I gotta wait. Like we're like, what? Like what?
Like, what are you
I gotta
doing?
drive the truck from here to there, and I just bought a truck because I need a truck, and we gotta like, but just like it's something they really wanted, right? So I think this is one of those where you like, and I think it's coming through in the story, right? Is nothing about this is like, hey, let's just go do this, right? Like
this would be pretty much what you would tell people. Like, this is, if someone said, how do I make the business as complicated as I can? You know what you'd start with? Well, listen, you know what you should do? Leave a major center, go to an island in Canada, not an island where population, go to an island in Canada, and don't go to the main town, which holds like 80% of the island's population.
Yeah.
Go to a town off Highway 1. So don't go on the highway, like get away from it and go way to the coast and land with 50 people, and not in the same place. Land on the island to get to the sort of other island to see the 50 people. Like, like your steps are like,
yeah. But I think it's really, I think this is just like,
that shop is so freaking cute.
To them, like on the sidelines, there's nothing but dedication, right? Like these two.
Well, you have to. This is amazing.
And but it's amazing.
Just look at that.
Nobody can see this, but I put up a map. Like it takes.
Look at the engagement you're getting.
And then the engagement you're getting, and then honestly, like the ice cream looks
really good.
Yum.
Oh, thanks.
The place is super cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
super cute.
We wanted everything that we do. Oh, that's a nicer picture of the shop there.
That's beautiful.
We want to play up. We want to basically tie in what we love about Newfoundland into everything that we do. So, if we're going to be there, we want like a great storefront. Yeah, those were our. I jumped on the bandwagon with the hot chocolate bombs.
Oh yeah,
why not? Really good.
Wait, those are hot chocolate bombs?
Yeah, before I put them together, but
Philip will be ordering in about 3 minutes. Order online, Phil. Clickable link.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these are so good. Look at
this. Just so people know, now we've completely done what Phil and I do best, which is completely ADD this, and now we are shopping.
Yeah, and wait, I'm going to try out this screen because I want to hear more from Sarah.
Wow, that is really cool. So, sir, I'm down. I just want to know the progression. So, the one little store in Trinity, super cute. Next store is, you said in the next store, you did the 7 hour away, right? That was the logical choice.
No, yeah. Okay, no. So we did Trinity, and then we did the next biggest tourist town was 45 minutes away.
Oh, that's okay. That's good.
So that's like
that's good. That's huge.
Traffic. Yeah.
How many people in that town?
4,500. Or 4,000.
Oh, that's massive. That's a nice size. That's a nice little town. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's like so it's called Bonavista, and it's like your typical working town, right? Like there's more of a population. There's a fish plant, which is one of the main employers.
Yeah.
But again, we went there primarily because it's a tourist draw. Like it's beautiful. It's right on the water.
Yeah, but you're back to a seasonal play, which is fine.
Back to seasonal play.
Yeah.
But ice cream is seasonal anyways. Anyway, so that was the second one we opened, and we opened that one because we got into ice cream. So we started making all our ice cream up there in a very, nice old historical building.
Cool.
And then I guess a year after that, then we decided to bring the ice cream down to Trinity, so the original location. But again, to not choose the easiest path, we didn't put it in the chocolate shop. We decided to put it just at the other end of Trinity, which is only a kilometer, right? But it's the other end of Trinity.
Right.
But it's, if you want to see a view, like it's 360 panoramic view. It's up on this plateau. It's amazing. Like it's what every person who comes to Newfoundland wants to see while they're sitting there eating their homemade ice cream. So,
wow.
like I think I still hear it today. Like some of the people from the area think we're crazy because they're like, why'd you put it up there? Put it in the chocolate shop. That's where everybody is. And I'm like, yes, but you don't have the view. Like,
Yeah.
that's
People
what
who
you
live
want when
there
you're on
don't
holiday.
appreciate what they have.
Yeah.
It's an outsider that sees it, right? That's the
Yeah.
difference. And that's why I think their story is even more cool. Nobody from there is going to do that. And I'm just teasing you all the way through this. I mean, I came from a small town, not that small, but I know what it's like. You know what? It's like anything. You don't appreciate what you have until you go somewhere else,
Totally.
right? From your eyes, everything's spectacular. From their eyes, they're thinking, I've been here 80 years, man. It's the same freaking view every day.
Yeah.
Like they've lost the awe of that view, and they don't see the
Yeah.
same thing that you see. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So actually, so this actually might make a little bit more sense. So what we
Not likely,
did,
but that's okay. Try anyway.
So what we did was we took that concession trailer we had used in Ottawa, and we brought it up to this hill that I'm talking about, and we built an old like fishing, like a shed around it. Newfoundlanders call them sheds. And we built a little shed around this trailer. So you can't see the trailer, but we can pop it open and serve our ice cream out of it. So it's fully functional with, oh, there's the view.
Oh my God, look at that view.
Yeah, so we put out Muskoka chairs and
oh shit, man, I could sit there all day.
You could, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And you can see whales, you can see icebergs.
You know, trust me, I totally get why you did. I still think you're nuts. But like I get it. Like I mean, oh my God, that is spectacular.
Yeah.
Was the icebergs that come through?
Yeah, we get icebergs, we get lots of whales.
God. This is
so shit. That's just something else, man.
For listeners, I'll put all of Sarah's.
You got to put the links.
The notes.
This is
you
spectacular.
have to look at these because they're just.
So Trinity, Bonavista, Rocky on the other side.
And then Rocky.
You said there was 4. And then the last one?
Well, so it was 2 in Trinity, 1 in Bonavista, and then Rocky Harbor.
Okay, and then Rocky. Okay. So you still haven't we're still not talking where the people are, right? We're not in St. John's, not planning to go.
No, well, no, but the one thing we did do this year in
trying to get it to some people, Phil. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get to a town, you know.
It's a population.
Just anybody over 10,000 people. I'm just trying to get you close. A suburb.
So we call it a pop-up shop. We did a pop-up shop this year in November, December in St. John's.
Wow.
For Christmas. And it started as a bit of a last minute idea because typically our fall and winter would be all these big craft shows and trade shows.
Right.
But we didn't have that this year. Yeah. So we thought, okay, well, we got to do something else. We got to, plug the gaps. So we said, you know what, we'll open up this little pop-up shop. We'll test the strength of our brand, see what kind of following we have in St. John's. We'll do it for 2 months and see how it goes. So and it was great. We were really happy. We had a lot of people come by. We had good response. We sold some chocolate, which was great. And now we're getting messages. Oh, when are you doing your next pop-up?
Well, good for you. Good.
We were going to do one for Valentine's, but the Newfoundland went into a lockdown actually, unfortunately, just right before.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there you go. We made it to the big city.
Good for you. Well, I mean, you got no choice. So you got to do what you got to do. Yeah. Right. And so you said you're into wholesale now. So where are you wholesaling from? Trinity?
Yeah. So we do all our production in Trinity. That's another neat building. So our production facility is actually the old courthouse. It's like oh gosh, I can't remember now what year it was built, but it was the original courthouse. And we reconfigured the inside. So the first floor is where we produce all our ice cream. And then the second floor, which is the old courtroom, like with dome ceilings, that's where we do our chocolate. And and then so we do deliveries out of there. And
so do you do the delivery yourself, or do you have one of the I'm assuming there's a local distributor?
There is, so sometimes we'll send our chocolate with the local guys, but the ice cream is so temperature sensitive that we do that ourselves. And to be honest, they don't want to touch it either. But it's worked out because we just make sure we have a full load going in, and it's a 15-hour day. But
so now you have a motorcycle, a truck, a boat.
She owns half the real estate in Trinity right now, right? Got the courthouse, the old shop, the trailer, the thing on the hill, the house on the other side. Like she's the land mogul on the little spot there.
Yeah.
Every location in town.
She's the Baron.
There are touches. Chocolate is everywhere.
Baroness of the Rock.
Oh, I wish.
Like like it.
Well, you're definitely dominating this little town. Like, are you employing locals, or is it
Oh
just
yeah, of
mostly?
course. No, yeah.
So
So
they're loving you for that too, which is fantastic.
I think so. I mean, they seem happy. A lot, all of our staff comes back year over year,
You would
and
know small towns. You'll know. You know when
Yeah,
small
yeah,
towns
you
are
do.
happy. I mean,
yeah,
there's only so many people you can talk to. When nobody's talking to you, guess what?
yeah,
They ain't
exactly.
happy. If they're talking to you and coming back to work, they're okay. Good
Yeah.
for you.
No, yeah,
That's
we've
huge
been
in its
really
own
lucky.
right, because you're an
Yeah.
outsider, right? You're not from there.
Yep. Oh, I know.
That's, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you must have felt that at the beginning too. That must have been interesting.
Well,
And they're generally very friendly people. They're friendly people, but
oh,
you're
for
still
sure.
not, they don't know what you're going to do. What are you doing? Come
No,
big shot coming in from the city, going to show these, small town people what to do,
yeah,
right?
Ontario, Mainlander.
Except, well, in
Yeah.
Ontario, even worse. I mean, at least in BC, we'd have a better chance than you guys.
Hey.
Well, it's the attitude you guys carry in that part of the world. The
Well,
center of the
actually,
universe.
you know what? Funny enough, so the Newfoundland, like the people in Trinity, like totally welcomed us with open arms. And I, before we went, I had no idea what to expect, but we showed up and we were unloading, and people came to help us unload
It's
our
awesome.
stuff. Like, it just
That's
like, you
super
don't
cute,
even
eh?
know me. But yeah, it was amazing. But it was funny over the years. I would say people who were more disappointed that I was from Ontario were people from Ontario.
Probably. Yeah, why you here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why are you blowing this?
Damn
Don't
it,
tell
they
anybody.
found us.
Stop telling people.
Because they don't come to Newfoundland and meet someone from Ontario. So.
That's funny.
But yeah, it is pretty funny. I mean,
That's
they get
awesome.
over it quick, but yeah, it is funny.
Oh, I just think this is a fantastic story. Like, what a great story.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
What a great story. That's good though. You know what? Listen, yeah, I mean, you definitely didn't make it easy, but what the hell? I mean, it's a
Are you
cool
happy?
story.
Yeah.
You seem it. I mean, you can tell you seem like really content.
Oh, thank you.
Like,
Yeah,
you seem
I
like in a
am.
really
Like,
good spot.
I mean, it's well, it's like anybody who owns their own business or works for a small business. Like, it's busy, right? You don't have any downtime, and but when I look out my window or I'm driving to work, it's those couple minutes where you stop and go, wow, like this is
Look
where
where
I
I am.
live.
Like, look where I am.
Yeah, I go for a walk on my lunch break and I'm walking next to the ocean. Like, it's pretty cool.
Well, just looking from the main street there. I mean, you walk out the front door, forget the wharf where the new building is. I would just probably walk up the street to that look like an old school maybe,
Yeah.
or down toward where your house is. I'd walk toward there. I think just park your ass on a rock right off wow.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Yeah, it's a pretty special, like the whole province. I mean, you can go to so many different towns and they all have a different feel, different look.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty picturesque.
Wow. But anyway,
So
good for
the
you.
next chat we do, guys, you'll have to come out here.
I tell you, I would love to go. I mean,
Yes.
my wife and I have been talking about
Yes.
going to Newfoundland for a million years.
Yeah.
Because from Vancouver, it's not convenient either. Like, Nova
No.
Scotia and New Brunswick are a problem. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing. It takes forever to get there. Newfoundland's an extra barrier. It's not easy, right?
No, it's a trip in itself. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's easier to go to Europe.
We've talked about it a lot. We just never.
Amelia and I have too. I mean, now our kids are way older, so they're.
Yeah.
I mean, although they figured out the concept of money, so I'm sure they'd come along just to get a free trip. But it would be beautiful because you start in St. John, rent a car, just drive.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
go
you
see it.
can
Why not?
fly into one side and out the other, and
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that, right?
Yeah. How cool is that? Any tips for any surprises or tips you want to leave? Like, so one of the things that Kenny and I've been on is, Kenny's older than both of us. And then there's me, and then you. You look exactly like when you left here. So amazing. So there's something in the air there, and how happy you are. So that's amazing. But we do have we know a lot of CPG people who are thinking about getting out or getting,
especially when they get to our ages, like
out, right? Any of those things. Are there any like tips or like watch outs, things that you want to leave these guys in terms of like what to think about?
oh wow.
I have more hard questions. I have lots of questions.
I think the only tip I could say is you really have to go with the flow. Like, as much as you might be a planner or you think you have your business plan ready to go, what I've learned, at least in our business, is that it just changes like so many times. And you just have to be able to stomach that. You have to really have faith in yourself that, it may not work out perfect, but you'll figure something out and you'll make the best of it. So you just have to have a bit of a stomach, I guess, to get through it.
I would think that's probably, very true. Especially in a year like this. I mean, I'm assuming it was a pretty hard pivot from, your Jan, Feb, getting excited about tourism season coming up, 3-4 months from there. And then what?
I look at Sarah, like I remember in the early days, honestly, right? Like she's our friend. And I know Winnie and I for sure went, what? Really? Like, are you there? Not somewhere, anywhere else, right? And then you're like, no, that's great, right? Like, but you watch the dedication that her and Adam had, and it's inspiring, right? Like they just.
I think that's the trick, though. Like it's very easy to give up.
Yeah.
And you really did set yourself up with a lot of challenges that you didn't necessarily have to do. I mean, to move is one thing, and to live, that's wonderful. But you're setting up a very unique business that really does draw, like today draws well with online, which you didn't have then, or definitively requires, I hate to say it again, but more than 50 people living at any one time in, an area that size. Like any population, it's not the town can't support you.
No.
Long term, it can't. They'd be going broke. All they'd be doing is buying chocolates.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's why. That's why the tourism is so important. Yeah, because we, on a good day, we'll have, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 bus tours coming through.
It's a big deal.
Oh, it's a big deal. When you look at your sales history and go, why were our sales so up or down on this particular day? It's because, last year we had 3 buses, and this year we had 5, and we're really lucky, actually. The location of our store, that cute little wharf area, the buses reverse down and park right there. Perfect. So everybody who gets off the bus is staring straight at our store.
You walk out the door and it's you.
Yeah. So whether they come in or not, that's their choice. But we at least, they at least know we're there, which is great. But I mean, it really is, the original model was started based on tourism, and obviously right now that's a tough pill to swallow because there really isn't tourism.
So how did it go this summer? I know I don't think we really got deep. So what happened?
It was tough. It was really tough. Like we were way down.
Obviously.
Yeah, but we only opened 1 location this year, so that was a big change for us. And we really started to put an emphasis on the wholesale, because those customers, like grocery stores and
now it's St. John's. I mean, you got to play into the population base, obviously, right?
Yeah. So those guys were, they were still busy, and even during lockdown, they were still open, so we could still get product out there. But we opened because there was some support from the federal government around wage subsidy, rent subsidy.
That's the reason most of us stayed open.
Yeah.
If you had small business, and without that, you're dead.
No, exactly. And, the last thing we wanted to do is, you wanted to be able to offer some employment too, right? So
I get it.
It's not just about us, but it's about the 15 people that were hoping for jobs, right? So it was a really tough year. We didn't have everything open, and we had to change a lot of plans and delay plans. But we made it through, and we're going to keep trying.
So did you find that you got a good boost for wholesale? Like, I'm assuming, I mean, this has been a great year for any indulgence, right? Because that was a rough, I mean, we're not out of it. That's been a rough year.
Yeah.
And chocolate and booze and a few other commodities are godsends when you're in the moods we're all in. So I'm assuming it probably, in some bizarre way, actually, did it push you into an area that you weren't as strong with, let's say the summer prior? Like, so like the year prior for wholesale, we did a little bit at Christmas, but that was it for chocolate. We had started ice cream before that. Right.
But now, again, the local grocery stores, local stores, like the gift shops, they're all, and the bakeries, they were like, it was almost like the easiest sales call you could ever do, because, they were looking to you, like everybody wanted to support local and everybody wanted to help each other out. So, so our wholesale this year, or 2020, we started in time for Mother's Day, and then we had good sales there, and then kind of a little bit over the summer. Summer's not big for chocolate, but then
Right.
you get back into the fall, and so yeah, the wholesale really did help us. At least it kept our volume going a bit in terms of production, so that
Right.
when we were trying to produce for our own store, which was taking a big hit, we had the production made sense because we still had some volume from the wholesale.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
could push it into another bucket, so you weren't
Yeah.
crippling one store with inventory come forever. And
Yeah.
online, did online do anything, or have you done much online?
Yeah, you know what? So online during the summer is never big for us because it's hard to ship chocolate.
Chocolate's
in the
not a great
warmer
commodity
months.
for that. I mean, yeah, they melt. I mean, unless you ship
Exactly.
refrigeration, it's going to cost a fortune, right?
Yeah. So, but I have to say our online for Christmas was good. Like it was up from last year, which was great. And it was earlier, which was even better. So I think people were really worried about Christmas shopping or holiday shopping too late in the
Right.
year. So they started in October, which was great for us because then it meant that, we captured our sales early versus
Right.
that feeling of, oh my gosh, how's this all going to turn out?
Right.
So yeah, and then we'll keep pushing online too because we can do curbside pickup. We can do delivery, shipping.
Well, you can ship anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
Are you finding that a lot of your online is relative, like rock local, or is it Eastern Canada, some states, or is it just mostly on the island itself?
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry. Right now it's actually mostly Newfoundland, which is neat.
It's kind
Yeah.
of cool. Supporting local. It's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Phil, you freed up some time. Help her out.
Dude, I just
Seriously, what's the matter with you?
I just ordered product.
Oh, you did?
Chocolate. Yeah, I did.
Oh, I knew he was going to do that. Like he gets hungry and then it starts, right?
Oh my God, come on. It's amazing. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No,
That's awesome.
I'm so excited. But no, honestly, like I do have time. So if you need any help with the digital stuff, you let me know.
The digital stuff, because I think it'd be such a cool play, right? I mean,
100%,
it's going to be, I mean, you're going to get tougher once you get into warmer weather. Chocolate, just unless you're going to send refrigerated, it's not gonna make it.
Yeah,
but
you got a couple of months before you got to worry about that.
Yeah, especially here.
Well, there you might. Yeah. Right.
Even into Ontario, right? Like we're only like we're barely broken zero here, so like.
You could also restrict your sales to the island. You don't have to ship anywhere outside of the rock. Yeah. I mean, you really don't. There's no obligation, right? You don't have to do it. Just leave it there. Yeah. There's enough people, and they're very loyal to locals, right? So it's not that you're not gonna lose on that.
I am really, really, really excited.
What a great story.
I was telling Kenny about this. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna love Sarah, and then the story is gonna, and he was like, okay.
Someone said, okay, whatever. Okay.
Your friend left J&J.
Yeah.
In a chocolate shop. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah,
I don't think you told me Newfoundland. I think I'm thinking, I thought, okay, so she'll open a chocolate shop like one, probably on Yonge Street or Queen. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's still pretty cool. But I'm thinking, okay, I don't know why he's so excited about this story.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no shit. I mean, what a great story. Jesus. Oh my God. What a great story.
Kenny's face. Kenny.
I love it. I love stories like this. Yeah. And again, mostly because it's so backward. It's usually the person in Trinity, 50 people, got a wicked idea, goes to the big city, like probably St. John's, and then goes to the big city and the big smoke. And, that's the way it normally goes. You don't go from the big smoke to no smoke. Like, just a rock.
I know.
Birds, for crying out loud.
Okay.
Wow.
So if people want to find you, where do they find you? So where do they buy product? I just ordered. So by the time everyone listens to this podcast, maybe Sarah can put together an off the rock shipment.
What's the webpage called?
What's that? AuntSarahsChocolate.ca.
AuntSarahsChocolate.ca. Yeah. And then where else? So you're on Instagram as well.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the usuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put all of those in the show notes. So if you guys want, click ship. She's shipping.
Yeah.
Ship.
$15
You
flat
ship
rate.
ice
You can
cream?
order as much as you want.
You don't ship ice cream.
No, I wish. Yeah.
That's okay. It just means Kenny and I have to go out there.
Listen,
you go.
I would. The problem is you're gonna have to take a couple of days off because you're gonna have to tour us because
Aw.
I would just love to see.
Oh, that would be so terrible, Kenny. We took
For
some
who?
time off. Look, he's
Come on,
shopping
man,
already.
Seriously?
Look
I
at
know.
him,
I'm not
look
even paying
at him,
attention
he's
to you.
shopping already.
You know what? Because now you got me hungry. I mean, that's a problem. I mean, well, I mean, seriously. And then I'm looking at these things. Like, look at the sun, Trinity sunrise. That looks like crazy.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming on. I'm
Oh
so
my
glad to
gosh.
see you again. And then
Sarah, that was a wicked story. Like, seriously, good for you. Like, congratulations. That's a
Thank you
wonderful.
guys.
That's an awesome story. You and Adam really killed it. Good for you.
Oh, thank you. And thanks
Good for
for
you.
having me. It was so fun to chat with you guys.
No, I think that's a neat story.
Come back, please. So when
Yeah,
you
for
are
sure.
on
I'd love
your
to.
next thing, come on, do the announcement
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to give us a lot of notice. We're it's just us. We'll get on with you anytime.
Oh, we can go anytime. I mean, even if we're booked that week on the 3rd, just move it to another time slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It pisses
that'd
Mark
be
off
great.
too when we give people a chance to talk during a normal time zone. We got a buddy in Toronto who complains all the time. You got a shitty time slot because usually we record 8 o'clock my time, which is 11
okay.
o'clock his time, 11:30 in Newfoundland.
Yeah, no, 12:30.
No,
12:30. That's right. You're 4.5. Holy moly!
Yeah.
Because she's
Yeah.
90 minutes ahead of me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a 4.5 hour time zone difference from here to there. Isn't that nuts?
Isn't that crazy?
When she and I were setting up the times, that was me going, wait, what time? Wait, just a minute. I need a time zone calculator because I'm going to.
That's so fun. Like when if you talk to family in Italy, they have no concept of how big this country is. That you're 4.5 time zones.
This is the epitome of a Canadian podcast.
I love it.
Look at this, like
Yeah.
coast to coast, literally.
Oh yeah, we do actually. Yeah.
It is pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, West Coast, center of the world, East Coast.
Yeah.
Center of the world.
You know how those
Yeah,
you can
said
say
it.
now. You know
I
those.
didn't
You
say
know those
that.
Toronto people are like, right? That's that's the way they are. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're not one of them anymore, so we can say that.
Say nothing. I'm just. Sarah, thank you so much for joining.
That was awesome.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you guys.
Like, seriously, that was
Thank
really
you.
Wow.
No, it was fun, and thanks for letting me join you guys today. That was great.
Anytime. That was fantastic.
Yeah, anytime. Tell Adam we said hi.
I will for sure.
Yeah, I don't know Adam. Say hi to Adam anyway.
Yeah.
Congratulate
Okay.
Adam too. That's good.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a big hug.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, see you guys.
You staying on, Phil, for a second?
Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Very interesting, Phil. That was
cool.
what
Right?
a
Oh, cool.
honestly, I know I tease her a lot, but yeah, that is not a normal story to start a business. Okay, starting a business, a consulting business like you and I would do, in a 50-person down, 25 people, 50 people, 10,000 people, doesn't matter. It's a digital world, big shit, right? But you're starting a storefront for artisan chocolates in a 50-person down. Okay, you can say whatever. That's fucked up. I don't care what you say. That's not normal.
And not in a town, not even in a region that Like it's one thing.
They're 3.5 hours from the only town in the city on the whole province.
Yeah.
Who does that? That's not normal. I don't care what. That's not normal.
It's one thing. Like if you were to go, I'm going to get this wrong, but let's say you went up to Tofino or somewhere like that and did it. At least it's in your region. You kind of understand the dynamics. You understand the people there. You understand how they behave.
Totally.
For me, it would be like, oh, let's go up to Muskoka. Let's start something cool.
Yeah.
In her case, it was like, oh, no, change the region.
No, it'd be like you going to Great Slave Lake.
Like,
Say, okay, I'm going to start something up there. What are you going there for?
What? Like,
why would you do that?
I'm just, Anyway, so I just, yeah.
I love that story. I do. I just think that's
she's so
such
humble. Like she's such a.
She's smart. You can tell. No, she's got her shit together.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of the training from the corporate world, she's probably the smartest thing she probably did is listen to the folks.
Yeah.
Because to tell you the truth, what would have happened? You go into run this. She would have done well anyway. You can tell it's just her personality dictates that she would have done well. But she would probably did so much better because she didn't go into it right away. Got a little education, doesn't hurt. Go work big corporate, doesn't hurt. Right? You learn organization. You learn, you just learn different things, right?
Yeah.
And then you do that. You got a whole new perspective on the business thing, and still like that's wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah, very cool.
It's
Seriously, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, that's what's going on.
That was a great one. Good job. Nice, good guest. Love that one.
Thanks.
Yeah, love that one.
For the listeners, by the time you hear this, we'll probably have a blog post up, maybe two. There's a pretty smarty pants one coming from Yulia.
First was good.
Yeah, the
I couldn't do. I looked at. I don't know how to fix. I don't know.
It was. It's a big piece. It's a very cerebral piece.
That's why I looked. I said, okay, I can't do this one. This one's.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. So anyway, that's coming, and then we've got something from Simrit coming. And then, so if you're listening and you were thinking about putting something out on the blog, shoot them over. We're gonna start putting stuff up. So this stuff's starting to move,
And that's mostly that's been from guests. I mean, assuming if there's a long time listener and they've got a really cool idea or something they want to share, send it to us. We'll take a look at it if it sort of fits. I'm assuming we can do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Why not?
You know what I wanted to? I think we shouldn't go without talking about it at least a little bit. Is I sent Kenny a note last night, but Best Buy has stopped doing flyers in Canada. Which I think is big.
You sent it that last night, and I sent you back basically just wow.
Yeah.
But not even, you know what? Why? I guess more so. Well, Superstore stopped doing theirs, right? They went online about what? Just while we're going into COVID, which is a wow in its own right.
Yeah.
Right. Best Buy, another. I just think probably of the two retailers I didn't anticipate being, I'm just gonna say terrible. It's that progressive in a sense. It's such a smart move. I really don't know why we still need paper flyers in 2021.
Well,
I understand some, like I got the Costco book with the connection. Either it was yesterday or today.
Yep.
Right. I'm not necessarily adverse to that. Why? Doesn't come out 20 times a year, so you're not chopping down an entire forest.
Yep.
I do still like to flip, and maybe it's an age thing, but I like paper. I like going through more of a magazine format. I'm not a big flyer. I don't like the ink on my hands anymore. I'm getting to a bit of a baby that way. I don't like it. I don't want to recycle all this shit. I'm not into that. I don't want it in my house. Bugs me, right? But the magazine kind of format I like. But I thought Best Buy will probably still do that. But the weekly flyer, 100% great idea. Why do it?
But they've gone even further than that, right? So even from if I looked on Flip, they're no longer doing e-flyers even. So they
they were doing something. What did they say they were doing? Mostly on their webpage, and they would announce their. I thought that's what I kind of read through quickly. They were
on the web page, they have like a deals tab, which they've always had.
They've always had, but I think they're going to focus more on that. Like, you want to go see what's going on at Best Buy? Go to Best Buy.
But if
that's what they're telling you.
Yeah, but if you think of like even Flip, right? We had Shane Pounder on here, and that's got to be a big one.
Well, losing Superstore. Well, I guess they're still a digital. This one's a little different because they lost. Yeah, you're right. To your point, the digital. It's the flyers gone.
Yeah, they literally
the flyers gone.
Like we're no longer featuring things to call out, right? Like it's a complete walk away. If you want to, if you want to see, come to the website, and then we'll show. You can filter on what's on discount, and then you'll be able to see. But there's no call out. There's no. I
think they're calling out the cool and new, the fun stuff, but it's not a price based. It's not picture price anymore.
No. There's none of that anymore. Like at least Real Canadian Superstore, for example, still does online flyers. So
it's the same as the old one, except it's online.
Yeah, it's just a cutout, right? And then they put it in. But if you search Flip, for example, Best Buy doesn't come up at all.
Yeah,
they're no longer doing it.
And that was weird because they were one of the first ones that would come up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least on my feed.
Yeah. Me as well.
And I don't think it was because I was doing anything. I don't think it was because I don't go into Flip a ton. I don't shop a lot of flyer, but it wasn't because I hit Best Buy flyer every time. I'm positive it used to come up pretty high. So I'm sure they were paying for it, or there was a revenue play somewhere in that mess, right?
Yeah, but not
Which,
anymore.
Again, changes the model now of that world.
Yeah. So I think it's really cool. I think we don't need to dwell on it. We're coming up to an hour on the podcast, but I just thought we'd be remiss if we left without talking about it at least a little bit, because it's kind of a big deal. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big
Well,
deal.
I think it's a huge deal. I mean,
Yeah.
think of think how many years we all use that in theory to bring people into our stores. I don't know if we ever knew if it did or didn't. I guess maybe in the old days it probably did.
No, yeah, it did.
But in the recent past, I don't know how much it did versus people shopping truly on convenience these days, not so much on price. So if you saw a sign in the store, it definitely motivated me to buy, but I didn't realize there was a flyer running, nor did I care.
Yeah.
I appreciated the deal, so I took it. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a flyer that drove me in. I needed to be there and I bought.
Yeah. So it's super interesting.
But how does the retailer manage that revenue? Remember, it was a profit center, right?
Yeah, I mean that the lots of
all
questions
sold
there,
space.
right? Like lots and lots of questions
space.
there. Like, so are these buyers now? You know, because they do have a thing here that says we replaced our flyer with a top deals page, and you can find the hottest deals on now, updated every Friday. So you can go to the Best Buy website to find it. But does that mean that now the buyers are like, are they getting, you know, the online sale? Does that get accounted to the buyer
Don't
now?
know. Maybe it's the online buyer now. Maybe it's what we sort of talked about before, where you have this split. I think we talked about it last week, right? Where you like, who's buying it? Is it the bricks and mortar guy? Is it the online guy? Is there a guy?
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Like who's doing it?
If anybody has perspective on this, we may. I don't know if Shane will want to come back on and talk about it. We may reach out to Shane and see if he wants to jump back on and just have that discussion.
Let's have a Best Buy buyer or somebody. Somebody know somebody that would come on.
Yeah, that would be.
I find it interesting. I'm curious to see, like, even from a retailer's perspective. I mean, I know they may not necessarily want to share this, but I'd be curious to see where the revenue streams are then.
Yep.
Because our listeners are mostly CPG people or small business, so they've gotten to learn, because we've talked about it ad nauseum for 3 years.
Yeah.
That, you know, you pay for that real estate. You don't get a flyer just because Phil comes in and says, "Hi, I'm Phil. I'm a nice guy." And nobody cares. "Hi, I'm Phil. I'm a nice guy. I have tens of thousands of dollars." That's a different one.
I wouldn't sound like that.
No, I'm a new Phil, different Phil, not you, Phil. It's not always about you, you know. Quite the ego there. Not always about you. Different Phil. But you know what I mean? Like, if Phil came with 10 grand, Phil gets a flyer.
Yeah.
Like, what he's selling now. I mean, I know you can sell digital. I get all that, but it's not about just the flyer leaving. Like, you and I know there's so many other things that get impacted by this.
Oh yeah.
It's a big move.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting. So, there you are.
That's it. Okay, my friend. That was a good podcast. Enjoyed that thoroughly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Not on for tomorrow night. We chat with you next week.
Oh yeah, next week. I'll talk to you soon anyway.
I'll probably talk to you tomorrow anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, buddy boy.
Ciao, buddy.
You have a wonderful afternoon or a wonderful evening.
You too.
And we'll chat with you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Ciao.